All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That microphone's going to be a bit annoying there, isn't it? But it is where it is. I guess next time I'll think about moving the old camera around. All right, we have a flight. And it's all fairly cold and dark at the minute. In fact, so much so that... Just put that on so I don't feel like I'm all by myself because it's scary. It's all scary. What you doing? Here we go. Alright, so here's the situation. Airbus A340-6. And judging by the size of these aircraft and the proximity to the coastline... Oh no, there's a 7-4, there's a 7-4. Panic over. We've got a small island hop now. Listen to that wind. Alright, this is all default. This is all default Xplane 12 apart from the A340 that we're in. And I'm just doing a check here with SimBrief because I believe I can import it here. And to try and prove that be the case. And of course there's always an update when export, close. Right, here we go, charts, and let's refresh that, and there we go. All right, here we go. This is it. And so yeah, sod it, I'm gonna have to move the mic there, otherwise we can't hear when I'm looking the other way. You'll just have to put up with that fluttery thing. The reason I could put myself on the other side of the screen, the problem is oftentimes that side of the screen's where there's stuff going on that you need to see. Over here is just like a panel to change the lighting and that's it. And so here I am. Of course I could always make myself disappear as well. I've got the lighting on, it's pretty bright. I've got the glasses on, but we'll see how it goes. All right. So I'm going to try get this one in, so let's not mess around. So battery, APU bat, externals A and B, arm the emergency lights, cruise supply on, start the recorder, and 1, 2, 3. And then let's go ahead and make it dark up top, and then we'll focus on downstairs. These are all the fuel pumps and transfers and balancing pumps. All right, that's all there. Smoking signs on. We'll put nav lights on, and everything over there on the third column looks good. So coming back down here. Right, first of all, this damn armrest. There we go. All right, so let's brighten up the center. I like that to about 10, 11 o'clock. And your one, sorry, don't like it, off. There we go. All right, 4452. Bang that in there. And yeah, okay, she's starting to cook and warm up. ATIS I've found to be a little temperamental. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it doesn't. I'm really a fan on the new voice. Sounds a lot better than it used to do. Excuse me, just need a sip of water. That's better. Right. So we're here. Don't ask me to try and pronounce it. I'm gonna try. New Ishigaki to Shimojimashima. I know I butchered it. To any Japanese people that may at some point see this by some freak of coincidental nature, apologies there. Cruise down at 9,000 feet. That's going to give you some idea how short it is. But we are here because it's the windiest place on Earth at the moment that's got an airport. All right. So weights are in pounds. So that's going to go for fuel and everything else as well. Listen to the wee. That's the old hydraulic pump there for the cargo and whatnot. Alright, let's see if we can load this in. So it's ROIG to RAWs. I'm not sure I've set it up on here, but you know what? We're going to try it. So let's come to the ACARS. What we got? No, where are we? Is it in ACARS? Data. Let's try init request. Hey, look at that. ROIG to RAWs. I like that. That's in. Okay. Hey, look at that. It's got the flight number in and all. PAX 349. Cost index 19. Flight level. Wow, that saves a bunch of time, doesn't it? Great. IRS in it on ref. Bang. Wins. Grabbing a data link request. There we go. And I like it. They don't bother putting the winds all the way up because we're not going to be all the way up. So why bother going all the way up? Let me just cycle. That's twitching a bit. It's doing my head. There we go. All right. All right. PAX 349. Let's start loading people up. By the way, we did arm the emergency lights. Yes, we did. The smoking signs is on. And so 349. And what was the old... Let me just have a look. Where are we here? I sort of feel like I'm, you know, when you're holding two phones or a phone and a tablet and you're trying to, and you think if anybody sees you, they must think that you're insane. All right, page 3. So here we go. 349 on the PAX. Cargo is 3.5. So let's go ahead and drop that all the way down. So we got 2.6. Let's go for 2.6 and 1.2. That's about as close as I'm going to get it. So we'll okay that. And fuel, we got there 61.4, but let's just verify that is as is. So trip is only 6.1. That's insane considering we've got 4 engines. I'm wondering, did I even select the right plane here? Indeed I did. A346, okay. Alright, so trip is 6.1, continuous 4.8, alternate 11.5, fine res 8.8, min takeoff 31.2. That is down to the fact that I have asked for an extra 28,000 due to the weather. And so, although legally we can't take off with any less than 31.2, we're really looking for 60,000 or blocking off at 61 point. Now we could say 61.4. I mean, everybody always rounds it up and then adds 1 or 2 on anyway, so they'd say, sort of say 61.5 there. But because I put a whole bunch extra, I'm just going to go for 60,000 if I can. And I can't, so it's going to be 60.6. That's as close as I can get it. Great. Okay, let's do away with that. Let's focus on the flight plan itself. I'm not going to spend ages briefing the SIDS and stars. It's a very short flight. We'll try brief the arrival coming in. And so I'm going to be lazy and let the Airbus take care of it. And I bet you that there's been pilots that have done that in real life as well. You know, they're late, they've got fast turnarounds, they're in a rush, whatever. The last 500 times I did the briefing, the Airbus was always right, so 501th time is going to be right. And I know there's cockpit voice recorders and whatnot, and it shouldn't be done, but I bet you it is. Alright, so we got the DIF, so we're on the foot now. So let's have a look then. What were we talking? Runway 22, and we're looking for the Gazuk 1 departure. Depart 22 Gazuk 1. Looks like there's no transition. Let's pop that into the plan constraints. Let's have a little look what that looks like. We're banging it in regardless. And 22, so we're going to be taking off down this way. Actually, if I zoom in, looks like, yeah, we've got a nice little turn, and then to intercept what looks like an outbound radial there. Let's push the range up, and we'll scroll through. And then we can already see the destination there, Roars. So let's have a little look. All right, so we're expecting to land runway 17 at Roars. Let me just check that Roars ain't some tiny airfield that ain't capable of... not that one, sorry, 10.9. Oh no, it's fine. 9,800 feet, that's fine. So the arrival... let me clear that because we're going to need this anyway. Let's get the departure back in. Was it ROIG? I think it was. We'll soon find out. Yeah, there we are. This one's 6.5, so we're going to have to put a foot down with the weight that we're at to get off in that length. It's on the short side of comfortable. If it's windy and we got a half decent headwind, I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay. Back departure, just so we see it. It was the Gazuk 1. Back. And approach in case... shit, it's the what? You know what. Alright, so they've got no ILS for 22, so this shows the winds are doing not what they normally do. So we'll be coming in on the RNAV should things go wrong. This is pretty much the departure anyway, so it's going to be the RNAV Zulu 22 via Masan, because that's basically the way we're going on our departure anyway. If we take a look here, yeah, so whatever. On far side, Roars. I'll save all these tabs here so that I've got access to them. And approach. Let me just remind myself what we were supposedly on. 17. So here's the Yankee 17. Is there anything with a bit more where we can sort of not have to come in such a boring way? What about the RNAV? Fifth single one's just a straight line. BOR. Same thing again. Alright, well, ILS Zulu then, and then we'll play with it ourselves. And we'll have the airport on as well. There we go. Alright. Let's see if we've got ATIS here for where we are. 128.67. $128.67. Let's have a listen. Nothing there. Let's try that one. Nothing there. Let's try that one. Okay. Did I have that dialed in right? Yeah, 128.67, and I've tried it all. That's really what it should be. And we've got this on here. Full blast. Alright, we will use information that we have available to us on the charts. Seeing as this was just generated a moment ago. And that is... oh, look at all these Sigmets. That's what we like. departure here. 25031 Gostin 43 and QNH 0993. There we go. And and on the arrival 190, yeah. So, and same again, 0993, so that makes that easy. Okay. Weights and balances, is this in? Great. Habitat, okay. I don't think that works though, no. We'll use the old school way. Alright, so I think we're ready to go, so I'm going to crack on with it. Is the thingamajig aligned? I think I saw the message. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so ILS Zulu 17 we agreed, and no star, no via. We're just going to plug right into that. There's no transition. Bang that in. And then we'll rig that up ourselves at the end. Flight plan your side now. Diff radios. We'll leave all that automatic. So back to the init page 2. That is filled in nicely for us on our behalf. Alright, so performance page and numbers. And again, we got a short takeoff runway. So we're going to give it all we got on this one. So it's going to be flaps 3. And we'll go togas. And that's going to give us 144 on the V1, rotating all the same. And then should shit come into contact with the AC, it's 155, and that is for flaps 3 to give us the shortest run possible. We'll be trimming up 3.1 on that, and we'll be flexing no flex, so we'll leave that blank. Okay. And we'll accelerate up to, let's put in a round number here. Thrust reduction, let's go 1100, seeing as we're toga, and we'll accelerate at 15. And should we lose an engine out acceleration, let's go 650, just round numbers. Okay. Alright, with that, let's go ahead, get APU master on. Put the signs on. Starting the APU. Guess not. Alright. Waiting on the older APU arc. Let's bring that in. Your side on nav, please, with the airports and terrain. Let me just have a look here. So this is the approach for the runway that we're departing on. MSA for the area in the direction that we're traveling is 3000. Does that say the same for, oh no, not that one, this one here? Does that say, yeah, 3000, so MSA. So if the shit goes down, it's 3000 with the engine, and we'll look at returning. Possibly also diverting if it's just one engine, just because of the length of the runway. And if all is well, and transalt is 14,000, we're not going that high. Airport elevation is 102. So what's happened here with the weather? Is nowhere near, so let's custom dial this to about 100 feet, because that's what we've been told that we are. Kind of surprising when we're so close to the sea, but that's what it says. So we got 1010 in 1010, and APU is available, so let's go ahead and put that on bus 1-2, put it on the bleed. And let's try with the pushback then. So we'll go ahead, put the beacons on. Signs are already on. We don't got better pushback, but we do got some sort of ability to do it here. So let's get rid of external power. Let's get rid of the chocks, and let's click manual pushback. And we'll see how this goes. Initial climb. We'll go straight to cruise, which is 9,000. And what I'm trying to do is that. And looks like the tug is plugged in. It's looked like a two-part tractor. Look at that. I've not seen one of those before. I guess it's because we're so heavy. All right, let's release the parking brakes and see if that's what we need to do. Parking brakes are off, by the way. Is it going to start pushing? Parking brake back on. Whoa. Parking brake on. Come on, dude. You know what? Engine start. I not got time for this. Nor does anybody else. Engine start. And let's go for a dual. And let's do 1 and 2. And I know that's not the normal way of doing things. It's usually 2 and 3. There's a reason I'm doing both. First of all, I want to see if you can do a dual engine start both on the same side. And there's your answer. Look at the wind rocking us. I assume it's the wind and not the tug. Oh, he has decided to pull out, which is great. Let's try this one more time, and let's go for an auto pushback. Let's go for, I don't know, 60 meters and then turn the tail to the right. Let's try that. See if we have more luck there. And looks like we are success there. Let's start 3 and 4. We're here 1 and 2 clicking onto the bus. Auto brake RTO. Alright, looks like he's plugged in, so 3, 2, 1, let's disconnect the parking brake. Oh, and he's got it this time. But he's forgotten his mate. Never mind. It was a weird thing, I'd never seen it before, but who knows. Longer, larger, farther, faster, higher, quieter, smoother. Quieter. Oh, look at the rain. Do you know, the rain, the way that the ground looks when it's wet, I tried the ice yesterday, it looked fantastic. The lightning in the distance looks a bit naff, but the lightning when it's flashing in the cockpit looked absolutely incredible. Right, so that was the pushback. Here's the right turn that we ordered. I'll turn that down a bit so we don't blow up everybody's eardrums. Not too bad. Not too bad. See the shadows there from the engine pods? Whoa. Did we just go over a little bit of a lump or a bump? Summit just rocked right ways over. It's come to a stop, so let's apply the parking brakes. And yeah, I would suggest he's almost snapped the nose gear off doing something there. I'm not entirely sure what he was doing. But in any case, he's disappeared. We've got no MC light on, so that's all good there. All right, spoilers, let's arm that. Flaps for takeoff, which is going to be 1, 2, 3 today. And we were trimming up 3.1. That's, let's see if it does auto do that. Let's turn off the engine start switches because we're already good there. Get rid of the APU bleed. Rid of the APU. all the lights and everything else is on, so that's all good. Sometimes this would auto trim, but not others. I've never quite understood the whys and wherefores there. Let's do a quick flight control check. Down, neutral, aft, neutral, rolling left, neutral, rolling right, neutral, and left boot, right boot. And again, some people say, why do you do a check? You already know that it's going to work. It's a sim. And the answer is, you don't already know that you've got your your stuff plugged in correctly, or that there's some sort of a glitch with a driver update. So it's worth doing, even though you know it's only a game. Alright, so let's trim that for takeoff, which was about 3.1. There we go. Alright, so that's flight control checks done. Let's do a takeoff config, and we just get the predictive wind shear warning not enabled. So let's go ahead, turn that on. Go ahead, put weather radar on, and we'll turn that on. That to auto as well. And we'll turn that to auto. And with that, parking brake off. Coming up top, strobes auto, runway turn off lights on. Nose light to taxi. And yeah, we're about good. Oh, we must be going downhill because that set off mighty quick. And I didn't actually study the ground chart, but looks like we do got a taxiway that's parallel. We've got a very strong wind blowing us along, but yeah, these little puddles, man, very nice. At first I thought there was birds going by, but it was the little raindrops. I was zoomed in. There we go. I didn't realise that was that far over to the side. Maybe I should have been looking where I was going. Alright, so well, there we are. We're all configured. Flaps 3, transponders on, weather radars on. We've got the strobes to go. Look at the way that tyre go through that puddle. That was great. I'd not seen that before. Whoa, a little bit too fast there. 53 knots, had no idea. Standing on the brakes. Oh, I'm glad I caught that one. I could see we were getting near the end, but I had no idea we were doing that insane speed. Alright, let's assume CTO, so go ahead, put the strobes on, wing lights on, landing lights on, and bring the nose light off. Whoa! Pretend you didn't see that. Pretend you didn't see that. And you can look again now. You can look again now. I'm trying to do too much shit at once. That's why really you've got to be, you know, when you're single ops and you haven't got the sensation of the way that it's feeling, especially if you don't got something like track IR or VR on. I don't like VR for Xplane. I got VR, got track IR, I got them both, but for Xplane, I prefer to just have access to the switches, and VR's no good for streaming anyway. But I'm definitely off uphill now because it's I'm needing quite a lot of power to do it. Put the departure chart in down there, and let's start swinging. I'm aware it's a bit like a bus, you got to swing it right round. Alright, there we go, that'll do. And 3, 2, 1, let's go ahead and put the nose light on takeoff. Wind up the engines, start the clock. Better late than never, but cabin reports ready. Look at the angle of this runway. Never mind, we're going nose down, and it's full toga. As discussed. I mean, we look level with the runway, but look at that artificial horizon, man. This is the most wonkiest runway I think I've ever been on in this plane. Alright, neutralize those controls. There's V1, which was rotate. Up we go at the brow of the hill. Very nice. Did that easily, actually. I'm rotating a little fast there towards the end, but never mind. Never mind! Wheels in and flaps 2. I'm going to bring throttle back to MCT and climb. And flaps 1. I'm going to go ahead and start this turn a little earlier than prescribed. Did I forget to turn the TCAS on? Silly me. There we go. Flying by myself anyway, but regardless. Alright, so let's pop that on, update the FMC or the McDo with what we're doing. Yeah, look at those winds, man. 60 knot tailwind already, and we're only at 3,000 feet. Alright, auto flaps are retracted. Let's go ahead and push that out. Let's bring the slats in. As we do got the weather on our side, we can see there's not much there. Alright, so let's continue cleaning up then. So gear is in and off, flaps are in and off, spoilers off. Cabin crew can do their thing. Nose light off, turn off light off, wing light off, signs remain on. It's a short flight, and like that, let's go ahead and plan our arrival because it's going to be very fast. We will accelerate through 250, and because we don't got external lights, if I remember, yeah, they're built into the wing. We don't got to worry about a max speed there either. So let's have a little look here and try and tidy up our approach. Yeah, alright, we'll just fly that bit manually. I'm going to go ahead, pull the plug and expedite our flight. Assume ATC's cleared us because we are at 9,000. Trending east, of course, we've got to be odd. And 11 is going to be a bit too high, I think. Alright, so we're setting up for runway 17. Gives you a little idea on the winds here. It's an ILS. I think. Let's go ahead and vector ourselves in. 320, it's all good. So let's prepare because this is going to come real fast. ISB is what we need to confirm, so let's check that we've got that. Let's go ahead and put the LS on there. And ISB it is 1150 it is. Of course there's going to be 170 on the nose. And minimums is going to be 225 on the radal. $225. Okay. We'll go flaps full. And we'll see if we've got a working ATIS there. And it would seem not. So I've got no choice, unfortunately, because of how far our brief was out with what we saw, than to go here. Altimeter's 2939, so let's go ahead and swap that over. 29. Again, that's a bunch off what we just were, but 2939. Let's amend our altitude accordingly. That's about 300 or 400 feet off where we were. 2939. Temperatures, do we got it on there? Don't think we do. Winds 189 at 29, gusting 39. 189 at 29. So it's all in there apart from the temps, and that I am going to grab off the old brief, because that isn't going to have changed much, and that is 28 degrees due 25. So 28, okay. Alright, all of that is set up. Let's scale that in. Looks like we're very close. About 25 miles or so. You can see the wind rocking us around a bit. Let's drop the speed by 10. Just to make sure. Wow, look at some of these clouds. Yeah, sometimes, you know, I know they've gotten some stick here and there, and rightfully so, but this here is looking pretty good. I still would like that effect, that wall, you know, when there's like a big white fluffy cloud and it's not always this very gradual faded entry. It's often like a wall, and I'm not seeing. And I would love to see that. Don't get me wrong, these look great in the distance, but you know, when you're flying into one, it's like it's a solid wall. Often the start and the, you know, the edge of the cloud is like a wall. Those of you that have sat in cockpit, you'll know what I'm on about. It's a wall. All right, 20 miles. All right, do we go? Do you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try and be clever. We're going to give ourselves a custom waypoint. So we see here we've got Diana, but it's a very sharp turn, and so if I go direct, let's try this Diana, but I want to be over this side, which is going to be, if we put that on the nav, is going to be about 320 degrees, and let's give ourselves 5 miles. We want to go direct there, yes. Okay. And then from there, next point is obviously going to be Diana itself, or herself. Okay. And all that seems to rig up quite nicely. We've got the decel message, which is understandable, and we need to descend down to basically 2.5, so let's get that going. 2.5, and I'll put the arc back my side. You have airport still with the terrain. I've got the weather still on my side. 10 miles to go. We're at 240, but we are hot, so I'm going to go ahead, dump the speed brakes. We're actually well high. How high should we be by Diana? Because 1,600, so now how we're going to mitigate that. I'm going to pull that for open descent. I'm going to pull the head in, and we're just going to manually vector ourselves left a little bit and then to the right. We have got the boards out all the way. And there you see them. I do like that you've got 4 very distinct settings in the Airbus. 1, 2, 3, 4, off or armed. Bowen, of course, is flight detent off armed, or you know, when you're on the ground. I mean, to be fair, Airbus as well, when it's on the ground they stick up further, but what I do like is look how much lift it dumps. Look at what it does to the min speed, the safe maneuvering speed, that yellow thing. That's new on me. Which makes sense, right? The boards come up, dumps the lift. It makes sense that the stall speed, because the lift is dumped, is thereby increased, and that is what we're seeing here. Let's just wind that up a couple of knots. Boards work better. Faster you are, right? Alright, let's right turn and direct Diana now. Bang. Let's hope autopilot can do that. Now we're slipping below the glide slope, which is great news. But let's keep that descent going. And let's tuck the boards away. Yeah, look at the thing there disappearing as the boards go in. We'll arm the spoilers. That's a 10,000 foot runway, if memory serves. So I think we'll be fine with... let's try auto brake too. And if things look a bit dicey, we'll stand on them. As we set ourselves up for final. Landing system is already on and we're about to line up. I'm going to go ahead, pop on the vertical speed, reduce our speed and increase, or rather decrease the descent rate some, just to get a bit of a CDA thing going on here. We'll go for GDS. And we'll get the loc armed. Actually, did that turn better than I thought it would? Look at this headwind we've got. Tell you what, we need to keep the forward speed going because of this insane headwind. It could suddenly drop out on us on a descent, so we got to be aware for that. I'm sure GS Mini is going to be doing its thing. In fact, speaking of GS Mini, Perth, I don't want to activate. Do you know what? Let's activate it. Bum, bang. VAT 156, landing speed 47. So you can see it's adding 9 knots on. I think that's very conservative, considering the conditions. So let's go ahead and go managed. And we're going to have to increase that VS a little bit to comply with the restriction, which was 11600 at Diana. And there you see it. We're going to be there allegedly when that blue hour is there, so just before, but that's all good. Loc start.
2000.
Alright, let's go ahead and ding dong the cabin. Cabin not yet ready. Interesting. It used to be. Oh yeah, it is. So it's on that side. Yeah, I'm sure it used to be over on the other side. Right, so here we are at 1600. That's great. Let's go ahead and flaps 1. And we'll also arm the approach there. Loc is already captured. Alt is still boxed, waiting for GS. It's blue. Missed approach looks like 2000. Climb to 2170 on the heading. Turn right and direct to the beacon and hold. So that's nice and easy. So we'll go ahead and we're being held anyway. So let's dial that up to 2000, ready for the mist. We ain't gonna miss. Right, auto brake 2. It's keeping us about 210. Again, I'm not entirely sure what this is, because you see, I always thought autopilot tries to go for this little pink arrow here, but you can clearly see it's giving thrust not to, so I'm not entirely sure what that's about. Or is it staying at S speed until we put more flaps down? I mean, slats are out, flaps not. I don't want to put more stuff out just because of what the wind's doing. Mind you, it is eased off a little bit. It's 49 knots. Water looks alright, but you can sort of see the repetitiveness of it. But it's alright. I love the lighting though. The lighting. Best lighting out of any game, I think. Let's hope they can get a few more. Alright, so GS star. So let's go ahead flaps 2 at this point, so we don't run away on the downslope. GS is boxed. Runway's in sight. And let's assume now that we've been cleared to land. Should have put the turn off lights on anyway. Wing lights on. There we go. CTL. Smoking lights in. And with that we're clear to land. Alright, here we go. Dumping the gear.
1,000.
Should have been a bit more configured by that point. Crept up on me a little bit. Let's go flap 3. And flap full. Glad we didn't get any warnings there. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the AP. Oh, I need to configure that button still. Let's press it there instead. Coming in a little low according to the ILS. But the thing was still telling me to go down, which is interesting.
500. 400.
Yeah, 40 knot wind. Shame it's not a crosswind, it's right down the centre of the runway. It's just going to make it seem really slow because it's... I mean, our approach speed is about right for a 7.3. Look at the headwind, 36.
Minimum.
It is dropping out a little bit, so we're just going to have to keep aware of that. Wow, it's a long runway is this.
100.
Wow, look at that.
50. 40. 30. 20.
Retard. Retard.
10.
5.
Holding it, holding it. Come on, touch. 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 Look. Right. Yeah, it was butter, but in my opinion, it don't count because we ballooned forever. Reverses are half up because we don't really need them. Stowing them already, and I'm going to tap the brakes so they don't get any much warmer. Let's go ahead and put the brake fan on because this insane wind. 60 knots, but ground speed is 30. Alright, let's go ahead and get APU going. It's going to be a short taxi. Did we even get the ground chart out? Yes, we did. Alright, so we need to double back a little bit. Right, let's stow reversers. Let's see if... do we got... oh, there we go. Look at that. There's the reversers stowed. Spoilers in. Bring the flaps in. Do you know, that does look good. That view there looks good. The ground, the engines, the colouring, I'll keep going on about it. The runways look loads better. The trees even don't look too bad from this distance. It's just the texture of the grass, and I'll tell you what, it's not far off a photo. These puddles, man. Also really good. Alright, let's boot up the APU. Bit of an excessive weight there. And let's have a little look, see what we can see if we put the turn-off camera on, and there we see it. Do you know what, can we... let's put it on my side instead, if it will. There we go, so we can see it a bit better while we're taxiing. So we got the nose wheel there, and we got the tail camera showing the main of the aircraft there. Nice little add-on. There's not many that do it, actually. All right, landing lights off, nose light to taxi, wing light off, strobes off. This what? Puddles is going to wow me every time for a little while. There we go. Nicely done if I say so myself. Let's pick up the pace and pull in at gate. APU says available, that's good. Brake fan is on. Although interesting, we not got the hot light on. I reckon that's coming. Oh, I did cancel out the brakes pretty quick. That'll be massively helped by the headwind. It's so fairly warm here, 26 degrees. Yeah, we'll keep the engines on for now. Alright, transponder off. Weather radar off as well. Where are we? Here we go. Off, off. Where are we looking? Here'll do. Let's follow this one. Let's try and use the telly here. Telly, what am I talking about? At this point, you're watching a screen of me watching a screen of a screen watching. Well, what is it watching? It's watching a game. A screen of a screen of a screen, eh? It can happen. Alright, that was a lot more difficult than I thought. I don't know if this is even a proper parking spot, but we'll try. Tell you what, you can be really precise with where your nose wheel's got to stop using that camera. And let's stop it there on the end. Alright, parking brake set. 4, 3, 2, 1. APU bleed on. Signs off. Beacon off. Turn off light off. Nose light, taxi light off. And cam off too. And that is well and truly off. Anything else? Sounds like they're already getting at the cargo. 3, 2, 1. And anything else? It's just the pumps, ain't it? 1, 2. Oh no, 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 not the cross feed. It's these, and these. And I believe those as well. There we go. That feels like I've done it good and proper. And so with that, let's go ahead and disconnect APU bleed. We'll wait for this hydraulic pump to finish. Somebody opening or shutting one of the doors. There it is. Cut off the APU. And battery 1, 2. And with that, thanks a lot for watching. It's been a pleasure to stream with you. Be nice once they get the luggage bits sorted, but for now we've got the open doors. Those puddles, man, look at the reflection as well of the aircraft within the puddles. Very, very good. I'm happy with that. The flight model, let's face it, was shit hot anyway in Xplane. Although I have flown the F-14 that come with it, and that is disappointingly crap. Really, really, really crap. Didn't like it at all. So bad that I'm not even going to stream with it. I'm sure there'll be some that have nothing to compare it to that think it's fun, but it's crap. Versus DCS, the earliest beta, the flight model, was better than this, which is a shame really, because he did rave about it a little bit, and it's pants. But anyway, overall, very happy with it. Until next time, take care, bye. Where's the stop streaming button? Where is it? Where is the stop streaming button? Do you know what?